I must hit the wrong button there. Yes, we're live, and now the show's canceled.
Delete account forever.
This week's episode of Here's What I Don't Get is brought to you by not getting refills. Yes, I realize that the menu item says that it's bottomless, but you can go fuck yourself. Welcome back to Here's What I Don't Get, from north to south, east to west, the only formerly intercontinental podcast, now in the same city podcast, to tackle all of life's toughest issues, and the longest consecutively running podcast on the See You Next Tuesday podcast network and the Carl podcast network, which we recently joined. I am your host, Tab Burt, and with me today, in the most dangerous city in America, my friend, Tim the Handlebreaker.
How's it going? As you can tell, I've already started smoking.
That's right. I forgot to bring in your car cigarettes. They're gonna kick me. Right off the bat, you have to tell the story about what happened with your company's trucks.
So we got in yesterday, and we checked into the hotel, and everyone had a nice night off. Woke up in the morning, ready to load some stuff for this event, and the truck driver goes out to go get the truck, and we all get a group text notice, and bing, and it's like, someone's tried to siphon the gas from our truck.
That's like the most St. Louis story that I had ever heard. Like, a guy sees a truck sitting in a hotel parking or a convention center parking lot, and he's like, yeah, that thing's got gas, and I need it.
Yep, I need it right now. It's been here for 4 hours.
I imagine that person works for the St. Louis Bureau of Tourism.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. That's just part of
that's
the
on the
welcome
checklist.
package.
It's on the checklist. Yeah.
You stop at the welcome center and they steal your hubcaps.
You see them dragging out cement blocks.
Yeah. Oh man. Last week, neither one of us was on the show.
Yep.
Buck and Chaco were doing the show because I was out of town in Portland. I had a great time. I visited my sister. We went to a bunch of stuff. And I got to say, fucking Portland is expensive. Fuck that town.
It's a coastal city.
Yeah. Well, so we went to the Japanese gardens.
Okay.
It's very, very beautiful. Very serene.
Very honorable.
Yeah. It's so honorable, Tim. But we went to there was a little gift shop, and they had all the tchotchke shit that you expect at a museum type gift shop. They had little make your own bonsai trees, and magnets and stickers, and so there was this one sticker that I liked. It was a picture of a tree, and it said "Go outside," and I was like, "That's a fun sticker."
Yeah.
How much would you pay for a sticker?
Show me the size of the sticker.
It's maybe 2 inches round.
How much would I pay for that sticker?
Yeah.
Maximum. $250.
$250?
Yeah.
To me, a sticker's $1. I
don't think $250 is much more than $1.
A sticker is something that's just gets thrown in, right?
Yeah.
When I got my tattoo, they were like, "Here's a bunch of stickers."
You order something from Sweetwater, they throw you in some stickers and some candy.
Yeah, or you go to a place, you buy something from a podcast store, and they'll throw a sticker in.
Yes.
This sticker costs $4. $4 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
So you know what I did, Tim?
You stole it.
I shoplifted it.
Yeah.
Fuck those people. Because the other thing that was really annoying was we go there, right, and it's a garden, and it was $22 a person or something insane.
To walk around and look at flowers?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And so, and we didn't even get to walk around all of it because some woman fell down. And so at one point we were trying to go look at this little pond thing, and there's an employee standing there, and she's like, there's been an incident. You need to go take this other path. So we go down the other path. This woman has tripped and fallen on next to this pond.
Oh no!
The path we take goes downhill past the pond. Yeah. So where she's laying in agony while EMT people are helping her, right at fucking face level. You had to walk past her and you walk past her and you look straight at her, just I couldn't go look at that area because of your clumsiness.
You think she'd be used to it because I'm pretty sure every day as a teenage child she would have to run to school with a piece of toast in her mouth and fall down.
Yeah, so when we were buying tickets, my sister is small. She's very petite.
Yeah.
So it's one adult, one student. And the lady's like, "Do you have a student ID?" Like, fuck off, lady. She's like, well, I can look at your student email. What I should have done was I should have been like, I have my student email from
Yeah.
SIUE. Let me just, there's yours, Tab, from SIUE, where you're taking a glass class. Look at that. But we didn't, so I got my fucking money back, though, stealing that sticker.
Good.
How's the road been treating you, Tim?
It's good. Speaking of expensive things, I was in Texas recently. I was going to say last week, but at this point, I don't know what weeks are.
Lost track of all the days.
Lost track of all the days. I was in Texas, and I went to the gift shop in the hotel I was staying at, and they had it was like Texas, the gift shop. You know, it was like buy a cowboy hat, buy some boots, buy a denim shirt, and then it was like, you know, here's like Willie Nelson on vinyl, and you can buy this Texas themed vinyl record player. And it was like, here's a cologne that smells like leather
and pollution.
Yeah. And then I'm looking around and I'm like, well, this area doesn't seem very Texas-y to me. And it was just like kitschy gift shop stuff. It was like puzzles and and then it was like, and then they had giant like 3.5, 4-inch diameter peanut butter cups.
Wow.
So they weren't
Like
tall.
Just wide.
They were wide. They were probably a little taller than a regular peanut butter cup, but very wide. How much would you pay for a 3-inch diameter peanut butter cup?
$4?
Yeah. What about like $9?
No.
Yeah.
I discovered in my flights, and you probably know this because you've been traveling a lot more, but you can buy a beer anywhere in the airport and
Yes.
take it anywhere else in the airport. You used to have to drink inside the airport beer area. So I went, on my way out there, I laid over in somewhere in fucking California, and San Jose, I think. And I ate at one of the places, and then I got some beers. And then I got like 2 beers and wandered over to my gate and was just like 2 fists in these beers until my plane boarded. And then I was like, oh, I got to finish them. That way I was nice and relaxed for the flight out because I fucking hate flying.
And like, what is like a tiny airplane bottle of booze these days?
Oh, it's super expensive. Yeah, it's got to be like $18 or something. The beers were ridiculously expensive.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that duty. It's the duty free tax.
No, well, it's the this shit had to come through security for absolutely no fucking reason tax. Yeah, it's like where are you gonna go? You can't like leave the airport and Uber over somewhere else.
There was one time, I'm trying to remember where I was, but it's probably Arizona. Gone through security, and it's 8:30. No one on the crew has eaten since early lunch, and so we've passed security, and now we're in the we're waiting for the flight. It's like, we've got 30 minutes. If you can find some food, get it. And we all kind of struggle around to like the one place that is serving food, and they have like a cold fridge section with like wrapped sandwiches and wraps and all the drinks, and then they're making pizza, like small pizzas.
Oh, personal pizzas.
Personal pizzas. What do you think a airplane or
$14.
it's $20
Shit.
for a small personal pizza?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want a day where like Uber Eats, you can order Uber Eats directly to your Hello, Uncle Buck.
I'm just watching. I'm at work.
Okay, well,
Maybe I'll help moderate the comments.
Sounds good. Thanks for being here. Little cameo by Uncle Buck there. I look over and I see a comment that I didn't click on. I was like, how the fuck did that get there?
Someone's hacked the stream.
I can't unscramble it, Tim. Oh, yeah. The airport. So an Uber Eats, right, where you can order an Uber Eats to the airport, and then like the Uber Eats guy pulls up, and there's a conveyor belt that goes through like a security super X-ray thing, and he just drops your bag on that, and it comes through, and then pops out your side, and there's a guy there who's like, order for Tab, order for Tim, order for Uncle Buck, and they, just hand them out.
Quick sidebar. This is awesome. I'm drinking from a glass you made.
That's true.
It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I'm also drinking out of a glass that I made that I knocked over all over myself for the second time in like 2 days. I look like I pissed myself. Oh no, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was on my way.
And today it didn't happen.
Yesterday I was on my way to do this show at a theater, and I checked the weather, and it was like it had been raining, but it was supposed to be done raining.
Yeah.
So I'm riding. I get on. I'm like, and it was real nice, and so I put on my jacket.
Yeah, we were fighting that storm all the way here.
I rode my motorcycle to work, and I get on the highway, and I make it like a quarter of a mile on the highway, and it just starts fucking pouring rain, just deluge of rain.
Yeah.
And so immediately, I'm wearing my motorcycle jacket, so that's pretty dry. Like I have a little bit of seepage through the zipper, but my pants. Fucking
a lot of seepage through the
all the water on the gas tank just goes straight into my balls, and I'm like, it looks like I just
it's a perfect setup. It's a perfect setup.
So I pull over under a bridge, right? It takes me like 5-10 minutes to get my rain gear on. Get my rain gear on, fucking stops raining. I was like, son of a bitch. So it made me late to work, and then I'm fucking freezing cold all day because I'm soaking wet from my penis down, which is basically like just my ankles. So and now I fucking spilled water all over myself. I spent all fucking day. No, that's my issue. I'll get into my issue later. And speaking of issues, should we jump into yours, Tim?
Yeah. Here's what I don't get. ADHD videos.
Yeah. Anyway, my issue.
Kind of like that.
Can I show you something about some cool trains, Tim?
Yes. See, here's the thing, right? It's not that it hasn't been that long since it's been very popular to self-diagnose yourself with and not go to a trained professional and tell yourself that I have ADHD or ADD because I watched a TikTok that said like hold up your hand and put one finger down for each of these traits.
Did you know that if your hand is bigger than your face, you have ADHD? Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I remember seeing all this deluge of these videos. It was like, put one finger down if you wash your hands a lot. Put one, it's for like every like psychological problem.
If you're not putting a finger down when they ask that question, you fucking need to not be around other people.
For like every psychological problem there are these videos that would help you know that you are like I have ADHD, right? And I think like that was like a few years ago, and now we've gotten to a point where so many people think that they're ADHD because the internet told them so.
Yeah.
That we've started curating content for these people. And here I'm going to describe a video, and it's part of this it's changeable, but like imagine like the text of a Reddit post being read by a robot while a guy jumps around in Minecraft.
Yes. Okay, so the ones that I've seen of that, I've like seen them on Instagram and stuff, and it started with it would be like a Reddit post, and it would be like line by line a Reddit post while someone's jumping around in Minecraft. And then when they were doing the deep fake presidents playing video games, those are amazing.
Are really good.
In my mind, I'm watching that person play. I'm watching like the president playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
But in reality, that's just like
some other footage.
They created that Minecraft content because it gets Autismos to be like, oh, I know Minecraft.
Yeah, or
Let me read this thing about.
Or like there's like a mobile game I've seen a lot of, like a dude like that's like it's like a 3-tiered like train tracks jumping around and like getting stars.
Oh, like Subway Surfer.
Yeah,
or the
the name of the game.
Hidden Temple.
Yes.
Well, there's a bunch of those games where you just jump back and forth. Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those over a post of like, Was it
This
wrong
week's
for my?
episode of Here's What I Don't Get is brought to you by the moving walkways at airports.
What the fuck
Moving
is going,
walkways, not moving
going
stickways. They're not meant for you to
This
stand there with your luggage and kids.
God damn
They're
it,
made for
Tim! You
me.
turned on the dynamically inserted ads.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
I turned on my own dynamically inserted ad.
That is insane.
Amazing.
Why'd you do that? At least it wasn't Holocaust denial this time.
Well, I told you not to play that one.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like part of the reason why people think they have ADHD now is that so much of our media, like there's rules in news editing that you can't hold on a shot for longer than
Yeah,
6
yeah.
seconds, and so everything has devolved into trying to keep our brains engaged because we have so many options for external stimulus. Like we've seen people are fucking probably doing it right now. They're probably like listening to this podcast while they try and text or read something, or you're sitting and watching TV and you're like fucking scrolling through IMDb to try and figure out who that guy is on the TV screen. And it's not.
And you've lost like the last 15 seconds of actual content because you were doing something else.
And so yeah, they make like the video content that is also not video based, so that you can split screen see something. It's just like anything to get you to look at it. And the stuff that I hate are the things where they like put intentionally wrong information, or they'll put something stupid in there, and the whole thing is to get you to comment and be like, why am I watching this? Because they
Yes.
need like the comment to boost the algorithm
Yep.
stuff.
Yep. Or the one that's as popular is like it'll be like a clip from a podcast that has video, right? And it will be the audio stripped out over like someone doing one of those Grand Theft Auto races in the sky.
Yeah.
But you know what all this has taught me is that I am not ADHD because these videos
Don't appeal to you at all.
not only do they not appeal to me, they're too stimulating.
Oh my god.
Like I just need the text, right? I don't need the voice. I don't need the guy jumping around in Minecraft or the GTA car. I just need the text. That's
Yeah.
stimulating enough for me.
So I hate them because when they do the text thing, because it's the same reason why I hated reading out loud in school, because I'm sitting there reading the book,
Yeah.
and then you get this guy that's up there. It's like, "Dear Robbie," and you're
Yes.
like, "Holy shit!"
I'm at
kid."
the end of the page already.
Yeah, and so I hate I like audiobooks because I can turn them on while I'm driving, and like I can't physically be reading it.
You can
but I
adjust
have-
the speed.
Yeah, I never do that though.
You can though.
You can, yeah. The trying to read along with something, and it's so infuriating
Yeah.
because like sometimes you see a batch of text and your brain like processes it before you can really like line by line
Absolutely.
read it, but you get all the information out of
Yep,
it instantaneously.
yep.
Probably because I'm on an autismo.
Uh-huh.
And if you're an autismo, you'll really enjoy. Yeah, I'm so sick of these people. Like so my sister and I, when we were hanging out in Portland, we were talking about art and whether or not animals have souls. It was a very deep conversation.
Yeah.
But in talking about art, you were talking about, well, how do you sell art? And I talked about my glass final. Everybody's like final presentation. I had this sculpture that I had made, and I just talked about like making the sculpture and like what I wanted to work on and what I wanted to expand on. A lot of people talked about how like all the things that went wrong in their semester, and that shit annoys me because it's just like I need to be perpetually the victim. I need to be like fighting my way up, as opposed to saying like I accomplished this. This is my level of accomplishment. What do you think? It's like, this is my level of accomplishment, but keep in mind that I was dealing with all of these other things. And it's like,
Yeah,
I could
we
have stood there and talked for 10 minutes about how I have fibromyalgia and my fucking hands hurt all the time, and rolling a pipe is very not comfortable. Or how I burnt myself like 6 weeks into class and it didn't fully heal until the class was over. Or the fact that I was dealing with plantar fasciitis and standing for 6 to 8 hours, standing for 8 hours in a row watching people blow glass, not very comfortable. None of that shit matters.
No,
Because
no.
all that matters is what comes out the other side.
Yes.
Like, is this a good glass or not? Does it matter that I was having a bad day and wanted
No,
to cry
no,
when
no.
I made it? No, it doesn't
No.
fucking matter.
And no, that totally reminds me of like certain musicians that like information about them only comes out well after they're dead or well after they're past their prime. They're like, oh, they were like this, this famous guitarist couldn't feel his right hand his entire career. It's like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But these days his name would be
That would be it. He'd be live at concerts like, "Hey, everybody, Tulsa! It's so glad to be here. By the way, I can't feel my left hand at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's Wonderwall."
Yes.
Down, 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 down. And just be like, "Yeah, you're a victim."
Yeah.
No one fucking cares. Yeah. And so, yeah, people are like, they want to be ADHD. They want to be autistic. They want to have
they want to have something wrong with
something wrong with them so that they can like justify their horrible personality and also be praised for doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like I would much rather be judged by my accomplishments than by like whatever perceived restrictions I have on my humanity.
Yeah.
You know, it's I think it's also like a level of vanity, and it's the way white women went through that phase where they, a couple years ago, where they were all like, "My kid has ADHD," and that really fueled this whole drive to, we need diagnoses. Everything's on a spectrum now. It's not just you're not Asperger's. You're acceptable and good. But then when there are kids with real like actual problems,
Yes.
the school systems and whatnot, like they'll put you on an IEP as long as you're kind of normal enough. But once you kind of cross that threshold, they're like, "Yeah, we don't want your kid in our school anymore."
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like you have TikTokers just being like, "I have Tourette's. I say the F word a lot." Isn't that so quirky?
It would be if you weren't faking it.
Yeah, that too, because so many of those people are faking it. Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think that the way we've made our media work for the last 20 years has just fried the fucking brain. I mean, social media is a curse. It's like in the next like edition, when they release the new edition of the Bible, when they're Moses is fleeing Egypt and he brings upon the 40 days of darkness and all that.
Yeah.
The next one is going to be like, "And now I put upon you Egyptians," like, "Please don't kill our firstborn. No, I have something far worse. Facebook." And he like comes to your house and puts the big F on your house, and then what everyone in the other houses are doing, and then everyone's miserable, and they're just like, "Yes, now we will flee Egypt," because they're all too busy dicking around on their phones to summon an army to stop us at the Red Sea. That's my. I'm writing a new Bible.
Yes.
It's Bible 2.
Yeah. Electric Boogaloo.
The Jesus Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. And there's going to be a lot more spaceships. I'm going, who's the Scientology guy?
L. Ron Hubbard.
I'm going L. Ron Hubbard style. Yeah. I'm starting my own religion. We only accept beautiful women. Men are not allowed in my religion. Men are not saved except for me. I'm saved. And I can save beautiful women.
Yes.
I think what I'm trying to describe is a cult. I think that's what I'm forming. Yeah, I really hate scrolling through Instagram or Twitter and just seeing like the same stupid shit content posted everywhere, and people like, well, fucking Carl's show, Who Are These Socials? He talks about that girl with Tourette's, and it's just like, this is not interesting.
No.
Like TLC did it.
I was just gonna say, like, give her a show on TLC and let her be.
Like, yeah, those TLC shows, we've like, they became so popular. Now people are like, I want to be a TLC show. God, that's a level that we now strive for.
Yeah.
That
Look, the only TLC show people want to see is the one where the guy fucks his car.
what?
Yeah, on like My Strange Addiction.
Oh yeah. The only TLC shows that I want to see are Junkyard Wars and BattleBots.
BattleBots.
Yeah.
Which is on currently. No,
But it's not on TLC.
not
It's on
TLC.
like Discovery
Discovery
Plus or
Channel,
something.
yeah.
And yeah, so we just keep
Back when it was the Learning Channel,
back when it was the Learning Channel, and like and fucking
or those Don Hertzfeldt shorts. You ever saw those? He was an animator. The My Anus is Bleeding. That one. No.
no.
He was this animator. He got paid by the TLC. I think maybe back when they were still like the Family Channel, to do these animated in between show things. And he made them like Adult Swim style.
Okay.
They too graphic. And he saved him and eventually put him out years
on
later.
the internet.
Yeah.
Like YouTube now has
Shorts.
They do the shorts, and so the two types of content you find on YouTube are things that are an hour plus, or
Yes.
some things that are 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sitting here. I want to sit down and eat lunch for 25 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I'd love to see like a 25-minute review
18-minute video
of something,
Yeah.
but that's the algorithm doesn't like that. So we have to fucking make content that fits the algorithm. We got to make content for ADHD.
Well, not
people.
only that, but it's not even just making content. Creators are now having to remake content
Yeah.
to fit the shorts format. Like, occasionally I'll see a short that maybe I want to see this, and it'll autoplay to the next one, and that has shown me like Tau Flittermouse,
Yeah.
the guy who does like all those crazy
videos,
shotgun shell videos. Like, they've had to like make 45-second clip versions of their 15-minute video shooting a shotgun slug made out of bubblegum.
Yeah. I mean, the internet was a scourge.
And if it was really truly about
Because the other side is, so like Fred Rush posted in our Discord a couple of days ago this video from Smarter Every Day, and they shot they shot a bullet out of the air.
yeah.
And
Oh, that's right. I saw the preview for
yeah,
it.
2 bullets head on, and it's like an 18-minute video, and the first part of it is just him explaining we're going to try and shoot a bullet at another bullet.
Yeah.
And then you're like 18 minutes in, and finally they do it, and it's like,
Oh,
that was cool. That's all I wanted to see. I
Yeah.
don't care about the math and the science and all that.
See, that's the other thing is that, in this I guess it kind of goes hand in hand, but like there's a new, there's like a new news science videos on YouTube that I've run into.
Yeah.
Like the kids that didn't even get to see MythBusters on TV, post that. I saw it was a guy that was like, I tried to make a 50 cal pool cue. And I was like, no, that sounds interesting. And it was, but the video was way too long and had too many comedic bits in it that weren't funny or
Yeah.
trying to be funny. And like it glazed over like the cool science stuff I wanted to know about.
Yeah.
And it's not just him. I've seen plenty of other like newer science
Well, it needs to be like,
videos.
because if they explain too deep in the science, the dullards won't get it.
Yeah.
So it
there's a
needs
guy
to
that's
be-
and there's a guy that's really good at being like I tried to make gold from an aluminum can. And he was like, I poured 30 millimeters of acetone into here, and then that got me this, and then I diluted it into this, and he's like very strict, like very
Raw science.
raw science.
That's what Buck brought in years and years ago. Scientism, when he and I were on the show, and I think about that episode a lot because he really like called the shot of everything that was coming down the fucking pipeline as far as people worshiping science
Yeah.
and just showing deference to something that they don't understand at all, and but they need to like pretend to do it. So that's what those videos exist for. Is the same way they make videos now for people who perceive themselves as having ADHD. Those videos are made for people to be like, oh yeah,
Oh.
I did. Did you see Mark Rober's newest video where he totally pranked? When he did the glitter bomb package
glitter bomb
thing. And
package
the first
was-
one, it was like, that's a good one. That's a good get.
Yeah.
But then like he's done 1 year for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah.
It's like, this is really stretching the credibility of this whole experiment.
Yeah.
You got these phones back. I don't buy it. And like, so there's a motorcycle YouTuber I like called Fort9, and he does like 9-minute videos, a couple of jokes,
Yep.
lots of good information. It's like the perfect YouTube video because
Yeah.
there's no waste of time. He doesn't get to the end. He's like, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out our thing. Check out my other channel where I talk about this stupid. He's just like, he's like, I'm Fort9, and we're gonna talk about motorcycle mods. Mod number 1, this thing, it's pretty cool, works really well. Mod number 2, it's this thing, it's pretty cool, works really well. And then he gets to the end, he's like, all right, that's it, goodbye. And it's just like, bloop, out. No fucking intro video. No long talky bit. No pause in the middle. It'd be like, this episode of my show is brought to you by Simply Help or People Safe or some fucking scam where you can learn. Do you want to learn how to edit? You become a YouTuber on your own? Pay me $500.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The whole content of the internet is just like, why would I want to watch this? Hollywood's afraid that the AI is going to take their jobs, but it's like YouTube's already taking your jobs, guys.
Yeah.
Like as much as I hate YouTube, I'd much rather watch just about anything on YouTube versus like a modern television show.
You remember when me and you were looking at the Alamo Draft House
out here?
and
Yeah.
they have those vertical screens?
No.
Did you see those?
No, I did not.
They've got verticals. I don't know if it's the Alamo Draft House or a different theater, but they've got vertical screens in theaters now.
So that you can watch TikToks in the way they were meant to be seen.
Yeah.
Fucking like some TikTokers out there like, you should really see my TikToks on the big screen like it's meant to be seen. Just like Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
You needed to see that in the theater. Oh man, what a fucking embarrassment. They've done a bunch of like Star Trek screenings and stuff. This week is like Jurassic Park came out 40 years ago yesterday.
Wow.
Or 30 years ago yesterday. And I was like, surely Alamo Draft House would do a screening of fucking a 30th anniversary screening of Jurassic Park. It's like one of the greatest movies ever made. No. Universal didn't do one. It's like fucking
Why?
I don't know. I guess they don't want to interfere with like whatever movie they have in theaters that nobody's fucking watching. It's Universal, so it's
Transformers.
no, it's Fast and Furious 9 or 10.
Fast X.
Fast X,
which
yeah.
I have not seen.
Are you going to?
Eventually, I think.
Probably on streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to. It's about family.
It's about family.
Tim was privy to this. Truckin' and Tuckin' and I went down this deep, deep rabbit hole a couple weeks ago in our group text, the three of us, trying to figure out exactly how tall John Cena is.
That's right. That's right.
Because we ran into John Cena backstage during WWE, both of us. And Truckin' and Tuckin's a little bit shorter than you.
Yeah.
And I'm 6'2".
Yeah.
And I remember running into John Cena and thinking, this man is shockingly small.
Yeah.
Shockingly small. And there's all this information on the internet that's like, oh, no, he's 6'1". Like, there's not a fucking chance that man's 6'1". That man wouldn't be 6'1" standing on a, 2 steps up from me. Yeah. So we're looking at, like, comparing pictures of different celebrities whose heights we knew, and basically we weren't able to figure anything out.
No, it's like he can shapeshift.
He might be a shapeshifter.
I think that's what the whole "you can't see me" thing is about. Every time he does that, it's like he's got a wild magic D&D character. Every time he does the "you can't see me" thing, it's like he rolls a d6 and shrinks and or grows that many inches.
I was thinking that was probably the like his "you can't see me." He actually like shrinks. Ant-Man shrinks out of space.
I mean,
time,
now that I'm thinking about it, he has the ability to shrink his face, his facial features. The classic gift.
Yeah. That's true. That's not video editing. That is a true thing that happened.
Yeah.
Is Champ there? Who is Champ? Anyway, this was a very ADHD issue, Tim. Is there anything more you would like to say about the ADHDers?
No, I'm good.
Would you like to use any slurs against them, maybe? Stay on my fucking internet.
Yeah.
I'm tired of you fuckers fucking up my internet. Well, that brings us to the middle of our show, which means it's time for...
This episode is brought to you in part by the Ricada News Network. Definitely not fake news.
Well, Tim, actually, you don't have any news.
I've got a couple.
Okay.
I ended up finding some.
Well, you read your first one, and then I'll read mine.
Sure. I would just like to let you know off the bat, Tab, due to this news story, you should prepare yourself and defend yourself.
Okay. Let me go get my gun.
Yeah. We'll see. Florida man accused of stabbing his roommate's neck.
Okay.
Florida man is behind bars on a $1 million bond after authorities said he stabbed his roommate in the neck while dressed as a cat.
Wait, the roommate was dressed as a cat, or was the stabber was dressed
The
as a
stabber was dressed as a cat.
cat? Okay, that's fucking weird.
The cops were called to a home in Gainesville where a man called 911 to report that his roommate had stabbed him in the neck. They found him seriously bleeding. Minutes later, the stabber, dressed tip to tail in a cat costume, came out with his hands up.
And then he went back inside.
Yes.
And then he came out.
Yes. I'm just saying. I mean, you've got a roommate that happens to be a cat.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying you got to watch yourself. Because they say that the victim was rushed to the area hospital for treatment, survived.
But he has rabies.
Well, the victim said he asked the stabber why he stabbed him. Mm-hmm. To which the stabber said it was instinctual. Just saying, man.
I've got a
Here,
new.
watch your back.
I will creep.
Yeah. And I'm not saying anything, but I might have brought a cat costume with me.
I thought you were talking about Reacher. I've got a news story here from Germany, Deutschland, as we like to call it. You know how sometimes it seems like we're too lax on criminals here in this country.
Okay.
In Germany, they're buckling down.
Very strict.
They've given this man his last warning. You're on your last warning, mister. But like in German, so it's
In
more
German,
scary.
yes.
For the 82-year-old German man convicted of dealing drugs, the retired seaman who said he wanted to improve his meager 800 euro a month pension by selling marijuana was handed a suspended sentence by a court in the northern town of Aurich on Monday. The German news agency DPA reported that prosecutors had asked the court to impose a prison term of 34 months in view of the man's lengthy criminal record. But judges said they would make an exception and classify the latest crimes as a less serious offenses due to the man's particular circumstances and recent health problems. So they wanted to send this man to almost 3 years in prison. He's 82. He's going to be dead any day now.
This is like when your grandpa gets in trouble for smoking a doobie at the old folks' home.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Come on.
What's he going to do?
Yeah. He's an old man.
He's an old man.
He's cute. Look at him.
Yeah.
So he's selling marijuana. Who the fuck cares?
Who hasn't? Come on.
At least he's not Bloods and cripping it out there.
Yeah. Well, he is. I mean, he's probably cripping it because he's old and blood somewhere. I've got a news story here.
Okay.
This comes from a place where we don't usually get news out of. But it also involves us. The United States on Thursday suspended all food aid to the country of Ethiopia, where its contributions feed an estimated 12 million people.
Okay.
The reason is the, quote, widespread and coordinated theft of emergency rations in a countrywide scheme overseen by Ethiopian government officials.
Oh. Corruption in Africa?
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable.
The decision was likely to hit the hardest of the millions of vulnerable Ethiopians already. Really, I mean, look, they live in. Look, when you say the word when someone says the word Ethiopia, what do you think of?
I think of Starvin' Marvin from that
You think of
episode
Starvin' Marvin
of,
from the episode of Star Trek, right?
No, not
No,
from
Star
Trek.
Trek.
South Park.
South Park.
What the
Why
fuck?
is he
Why would you say? Oh yeah, what you saw it from the show must have been Star Trek. Tab, you fucking retard.
You know what it was is for some reason when
Starvin' Marvin, that guy with the weird eye gear. You know what you're talking about? He kind of looks like him. They all look alike.
No, but the episode of South Park where it's the guy from the future, the aliens from the future, where they're all one color.
Oh yeah.
Reminded me of, for some reason, reminds me of Starvin' Marvin. Anyways, yeah, South Park.
Yeah, I don't think of like a abundant land of plenty where people like
Yeah,
Greek gods lounge and
Yeah.
eat grapes. Yeah, I think of like the poorest of the poor in our planet, basically. I think of all those. What was that? For just 50 cents a day,
Yes.
you can help this starving kid, and it's like the kid's standing right there, old man. Why don't you give him a couple
Yeah.
of quarters?
which is funny because you know what they play on TV in Africa is the same thing but with starving American kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
it's the same hat. It's like for 25 cents a day, you can feed one of these starving homeless American kids.
Yeah, a whole aid-based economy that also has a lot of AIDS. AIDS. Speaking of AIDS, Tim is using the Rich Evans mic this week.
I am. I will treat it well.
Cherished family heirloom. Right alongside this 8-track tape of Rhinestone. Yeah. Anyway, do you have any more news stories? I have one.
Oh, yeah, you've got one? Great.
You ever you were a teenager, you played pranks and stuff, right?
Of course.
Well, 18-year-old Aman Hussain of Syracuse was arrested in connection with his connection with killing Faye, a 17-year-old swan, and then eating it. Apparently, a beloved swan.
No, this man is a hero.
Yeah.
Swans are dicks.
Huge piece of shit. When he's arrested, he was seen smiling at reporters.
Yeah, he was.
Like,
I did it.
That swan. Swan a l'orange, if you know what I mean.
Probably tried to attack him like every day as he walked through a park.
Yeah, the swan and her 4 babies were kidnapped from Manlius Swan Pond in Manlius, New York on Saturday and were last seen by a village employee who was tending to the flowers of the area. Aman Hussain, 18 of Syracuse, was arrested in the killing of, along with 2 other teenagers. The family did not include the swan's 4 babies, known as cygnets, as part of their meal. So, I mean, like, guy's hungry. He sees this stupid bird. It's not doing anything. He fucking made it a productive member of society. Fed his family. One, to save millions, Tim. Yeah, fuck swans.
Yeah, now imagine
swans, geese, fuck them.
Imagine this news story. It was like local Alabama man shoots grouse. Mm-hmm. Think that's newsworthy?
No,
absolutely not. And guess what? Guess what grouse are doing? Nothing to nobody.
Yeah.
You know what swans are doing? Being dicks.
Yeah, so on campus where I was taking my glass class in the spring, there were Canadian geese. I fucking hate Canadian geese so much.
Swan and geese, both of them.
Both of them. They'll just like fucking pick fights with people. They come, flapping and chasing around you. It's like, I'm twice your size. I will end you, swan. And a lot of people run from them and fear them. And I would just tell them to fuck off. And then the geese all
kick
started
them in the
leaving
face.
me alone. Yeah, fucking grab them by their stupid head.
Yeah.
Whip them around. Shia! Throw them like a sling and a rock.
Yeah. Bolo.
Well, this has been
the Ricada News Network. Definitely not fake news.
And that takes care of our legal obligations this week. But you know what doesn't take care of, Tim?
Hunting down and killing more swans.
And if you want to join Swan Stoppers, or support Swan Stoppers, you can visit us at HWIDG, subscribestar.com/HWIDG, tip.hwidg.com, and patreon.com/HWIDG, which stands for...
Here's why I don't geese.
And that is the name of the show. And if you, we have over on Patreon, we have 5 tiers. We have the $1 tier, which gets you access to each week's episode, early access to each week's episode, plus our mini-sodes. We have our $2 tier where we throw the random bits and bobs we do now and again. We have our $5 tier where we do our bonus episodes. Here's what I do get, where we drop the hate and talk about what's great. We have our $10 tier where you submit a film, you vote on what film we watch, and we watch and record a feature-length commentary. And then finally have our $50 Spite Producer tier. We've got a request in for you, me, and Tony to do a movie commentary of Volcano.
I've never seen Volcano.
You've never seen Volcano?
No.
I thought we watched it in school with Tommy Lee Jones. I watched it in science class in school.
You had the cool science teacher.
I had Miss Mann.
Yeah.
That was not the cool one.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I was thinking... Okay. I was thinking there was a science teacher I didn't have actually named Miss Mann.
Oh, there was?
I don't know.
You don't remember high school like it was yesterday, Tim? It
No.
was almost 15 years ago, and you're not just obsessing over everything you did every period for 4 years. Unbelievable.
I had that. No, yeah, freshman year.
Yeah, that's why I assumed you'd watched it too.
No.
Huh? Weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why we watched that movie in like an educational setting. It's terrible. Anyway, we want to say thank you to all our patrons, big and small. Do you want to say any special thank yous, Tim? today? Based on what you're wearing?
Oh, shout outs to Jay who sent me this shirt. I've worn it on the show before.
Well, I didn't know that it was a gift before. I only learned today.
Yeah, Jay sent me this shirt like I don't know, a year ago almost probably.
Holy shit.
It's a Halloween 3 Part 2 shirt. The
I
Return of Cochrane.
assumed that movie's coming too.
Oh, it's coming, all right.
I'm always coming.
Constantly coming to Halloween 3 Part 2, Halloween 3 Part 3.
Jerk myself off to that fucking song.
Yeah.
375 days till Halloween. Anyway, well,
Silver Shamrock.
let's get back into some issues, shall we? Here's what I don't get. Wii projects. Now, every married man listening to this show knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Wii projects where it's like,
She wants to save a heart into it, or
it's like, honey, this weekend, why don't we run out to Lowe's on Saturday morning and get some landscaping rocks and some mulch and redo the flower beds?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it looks like I'm doing a bunch of breaking labor for no fucking reason this weekend. That was
Yeah.
great. I was going to watch the game.
95% of the work, and then you can plant some perennials.
I got to go take a nap. All this sun is giving me a fucking headache.
Yeah.
I hate Wii projects with the... I've started in my life when someone will say things like, well, we'll do this thing. I'll say,
Yeah.
do you mean we or do you mean me?
Me, yeah.
And it gets
always-
real uncomfortable
Yeah.
real quick. And it's like, well, I was going to do some small aspect of the project that's doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So today, I don't know whose idea this was, but at some point in a staff meeting within the last 6 months, it was the idea was kicked around of revamping our green room in our theater because we're shut down for the summer. We're doing this big renovation. It's like, well, we need something to do. We'll do these little projects, something that we can something with substance, something you can point to and go like, we did that this summer. That's what we did. We drank every bottle on these shelves.
Yeah.
It's great. And so there was a whole discussion like, yeah, we'll paint, we'll get some new furniture, we'll get some this and that. So, we're ready to go. Theater shut down. Let's get some paint. And I feel like it's that fable or parable, whatever it is. You remember this one? The chicken and the wheat?
Yes.
You remember the chicken and the wheat? The chicken finds the wheat. The chicken then, grows the seeds and then grows into wheat and then harvests the wheat and then grinds into flour and then turns into bread. At every point in the thing, the chicken's like, who will help me do this next step of the process?
Yeah.
And the dog, the cat, and the pig all say, not I. And then when it comes time to eat the bread, the dog, the cat, and the pig are like, I'll help
want
you.
some
And the
bread.
chicken goes, get fucked, every one of you. And it was this parable, and I kind of feel like it's one of those things where, I remember reading that story to my sisters, and I remember like that story being read to me as a kid, and it must have like gotten stuck somewhere in the system because it was like, do you want to be the chicken or do you want to be that lazy fuck cat, dog, and pig? Yeah. And so I feel like I'm in an opposite version of the chicken and the wheat, right? Where I didn't say, let's revamp the green room. But somehow when it came time to go get paint samples, I went and got the paint samples.
Yeah.
So I get the paint samples and I'm like, I like these dark colors because I like dark saturated colors.
Yes.
And everyone's like, oh, no, that's way
absolutely
too
not.
fucking
No,
dark. You can't fucking paint a room a dark color.
No.
I'm like, why not?
It needs to be somewhere between eggshell and almond.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is the fucking point of painting the room a color if you're gonna fucking gray it down until there's nothing there? You might as well just that might as well be gray.
Go
We're
gray.
talking about making it a blue room. Let's make it a fucking blue ass room. So somehow in this democracy that exists, everyone's like, no, we'll do a light color and maybe a darker accent wall. So then I fucking order the paint, not the paint that I want in my heart of hearts. I want a dark, subdued room. Like right now, this room is extremely bright. We have like 11 lamps on to try and light us up for the fucking video stream. Typically in my house, very dark all the time.
Yeah.
I like sitting in like the natural light coming in. I'm totally fine with. Once the sun goes down, I kind of want to like ease into relaxing and kind of be in my lair like Dracula. And so in my mind, the room that you're relaxing
I want to
in,
stumble over stuff going into bed.
I don't want to. Well, I want that to be a risk, but not a
Yes.
risk because I know exactly the path.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So like I want the room to be dark. In my mind, a relaxing room, you're trying to relax pre-show and like getting, stay very calm and stay very neutral, is like a dark room with just like lamp dimly lit, nice and relaxing. You're kind of in there just chilling. But everybody else disagrees. Every fucking other person under the sun is like, no, that'll never work. It needs to be bright. So I ordered this like light grayish paint and a dark. The blue that I actually want is the accent wall. So I put in the Home Depot order. I don't pick it up because I'm out of town. Someone else picks it up. I did pick up part of the order today though. So,
If you hadn't been out of town,
I would have picked it
you
up.
would have picked it up.
And then today, I taped off the entire room and put down the first coat of primer. And while I'm putting down the coat of primer, I was like, I thought this was like a wee project that we were all going to work on together. We were all going to show up on here on a Monday and paint this fucking room together. Not a Tab is going to paint this fucking room. Because if I'd known that I was painting this fucking room, I would have painted it a dark fucking color. Not this fucking light-ass gray bullshit. So... And like this is the specific instance, but there are so many times there are theater groups that'll come in and they'll need something done and they'll say, yeah, at the break can we set up like these speakers or set up this thing or can we do this thing? And then break comes along and they're right out the door and it's like, well, this needs to get done. I guess I'm doing it. I'm guessing this is a Tab project, not a we project. And I think it's fundamentally disrespectful to the people around you.
That's when you have to be like. That's when That's when you have to put your foot down. They get back from lunch and they're like, "Where are the speakers?" And that's when you say, "You said you were going to do that."
Yeah. I think it's fundamentally like disrespectful and exploitative of the people around you, and not just in a work setting. Like when your spouse is like comes up with an idea to do a project and then just offloads all of the work onto you.
Yeah. It's
like, well, that's not really a we thing. It was just an idea that you had that then I had to accomplish, not something that we kind of discussed. If we like sat down and talked about like, oh, let's do this with the garden and came up with an idea, and then I had to do the physical labor because I'm the man that does labor. That's fine. But they just like kind of shit that stuff out of nowhere, and suddenly it's on your honeydew list of, oh, I guess we're fucking cutting down these trees for no fucking reason. I guess we're trying to figure out how to make the grass grow in the backyard. Yeah. Spoiler alert, it's never going to grow. Fucking let it go. Let it go. And so maybe it's because I have autism.
Uh-huh.
I'm incapable of like, I can assign a task to you where I'll say like, Tim, I need you to go do this thing and you can go do it. But when I say we are going to do a thing, I truly mean we are going to do a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm very much like a lead from the front kind of guy where he's just like, let's go fucking charge our way through this problem. And I find it frustrating to be around people that aren't that way. And, stuff comes up. I get that. You have like an emergency meeting pops up or this, that, but you could chip in some way. And when people don't chip in and don't pull their weight, I'm very much like chicken and the wheat. You get nothing. Because if I had known this was like an entirely me project, I would have made a room that was suitable for me.
For you, yeah.
Not a room that was suitable for
the
collective.
I don't even understand the whole bright dark thing, because if you paint the room a dark color, you can always
put in more lights.
Add light.
Yeah.
If you paint the room a bright color, we don't have the opposite of light bulbs that suck light out of a room.
Unbulbs, yeah.
We don't have unbulbs. Unbulbs would be awesome.
They would be awesome.
Imagine a dark room with an unbulb. Like a dark room that's already dark. Mm-hmm. No windows.
Well, that's the thing is that like, they're like, well, the room's already underground. It's already kind of like dark and dank. It's like,
great.
Let's step out this door and that whole fucking side of the building is glass. You can see the fucking sun. What are you talking about? Like, and yeah, you're about to go from this super bright lit room to then you have to wander into backstage where all the fucking lights are off.
Yep.
Seems like not a good combination of ideas.
You've just spent an hour and a half getting your eyes blinded by lights on stage. Would you like to go back to a bright room?
Soup.
or
Yeah.
a nice dark room.
That's true. I'm very much about the dark rooms. Soup Gang says if you have a problem with canned gooses, you got a problem with me, and I suggest you let that one marinate. I do have a problem with canned gooses. So
You know what? You know what else we're gonna let marinate? A bunch of goose meat.
We're having a big party on Wednesday. We're grilling goose meat, not steaks. We got a mouse in your pocket. Always a good response to we have to do X. Yeah, It's like in high school you're always getting put into group projects.
Yeah.
And that was really the introduction of
The Wii. Yeah.
the whole we thing. Was like, oh, whoever wants this grade enough will make this group project work.
Yeah.
Versus, you always had that one fucking kid that would never do anything, and the teacher knew, and somehow you guys all came out with the same grade.
Yeah.
It was very frustrating. And at the time, it's one of those things like, we're talking about school in the Discord, and we've talked about school on this show before, about how, like, I don't believe that schools are designed to teach you anything anymore. But the lesson of if there's work to do,
Yeah.
what was it? There's a guy that we worked with in Tulsa, and he told me the thing about if you do this type of work, they will let you. It was basically the lesson. Was when I was doing everything for everyone, it was they'll let you do that job until you're dead because they don't want to do it, and they'd rather just push it off another thing, and they're still having problems, and I feel nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tim, we're gonna need to clean my whole house before your party on Wednesday, so if you hop right on
Get
that.
to it. Get to it.
Yeah. Have you dealt with any wee people lately?
I think that's like that's a work thing, man. Like I think that's always going to be a thing at work. That's like we need to organize this shelf. All right, get to it. It will be
It'll be that hard of a transition.
Yeah.
It.
It's like, all right, well, I guess this is. I mean,
can you imagine if you did that? If like, so you call up your coworker. You're like, hey, we all got tickets to go to Six Flags this weekend.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great. And then they show up to Six Flags. We're like, yeah, where are the tickets? Like, oh, we didn't get you one.
We got tickets.
We got tickets.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That would be the greatest revenge. Something along those lines. Like, hey,
the opposite of it. Yeah.
We're gonna get everyone a beer today after work today.
We got pizza for lunch. And then like they're going for a slice. And,
we. And it'd be like that episode of Seinfeld where the guy Mickey, I think, or not Mickey, Jimmy. Jimmy is talking to Elaine at the gym. He's like, "Oh, Jimmy thinks you're very cute."
Yeah.
And it turns out he's talking about himself.
Yeah,
She thinks he's
third
talking
person.
about that other guy. Yeah, that's what we need to start doing. We need to start referring to everything as we, so that nothing is we.
Yeah.
My pronouns are we.
The royal we.
The royal we is just a singular person.
Yeah.
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 That's what I'm saying. It's like
we're only going to talk about the royal we. Yeah. Yeah.
the royal, like in the same way that the royal we is a singular person. The we project we ends up being a singular person.
Yeah. Husbands, go grab your wife, sit her ass in the car, and on the way to Lowe's, just kind of cue this episode up. Just be like, but, when you're listening, when Tim starts talking about the royal we, that's when you turn it off and you turn to your wife and you go like, he's making a lot of really good points.
Yeah.
And see if she stops being
You're a
intolerable
bitch.
cunt. Yeah. Oh, I can't tell you how many, like, just we're going to clean the house kind of things.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, you need to, everything's a partnership. Like, relationship building is very important.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned in humanity, you have to like build relationships with people. And
Why is it so much harder to just ask for help?
Yeah, if you just said, "Hey, can you do this thing? I don't know how to do it."
I'd like to clean the house up a little bit. Do you mind helping?
Yeah, that would work too. Hey, I'd like to redecorate our gardens or redo our outside, or hey, I need to set up this equipment that I don't know how to set up. If you're available to do it, can you do it? Those kinds of things. Like, it takes a level of deference that I think people don't allow themselves to have, because we're so fucking obsessed with our own egos and needing to be in charge.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's something that's just not taught anymore. It's that entitlement that everyone's always talking about. Oh, the millennials are so entitled. But I don't know. I don't have an answer to it. I just know that it's annoying, and I found it extremely irritating to be the only person present in the building. Nobody else even came into work today. It's like I fucking worked 40 hours in the last 4 days. Not here.
Yeah.
I would very much like to not be here, but instead of putting in my I'm going to work 8 to 3 today, I worked 8 to 5:30, almost 6. That was a fucking terrible idea. And so I'm just, stuck doing things for other people. And not like my specific coworkers aren't really that big of a problem. I reflect on all the other times that I've had to deal with this whole, we need to do this thing, and it really means Tab, you need to do this thing, and I really want to tell those people to fuck themselves to death, because, so, the last big group, the Royal We that was in our theater, they got up for their curtain speech, and we had fucking broke our backs to get their show open. I mean, over the course of their show, we put in 400 hours between the four of us to get their show up to opening, basically. And the guy in charge gets up there after a lot of We projects came up. Gets up there on stage and he's like, I want to thank all these people that donated money. I want to thank these people, and I want to thank these people. And I want to thank you, the audience, for coming. Not even a fucking mention of oh, hey, the staff that works at this theater, they really saved our ass. He was willing to tell us constantly, and he gave us some expired beer. That was the big generous, hey, and by the way, I put some beer in the fridge for you guys as a thank you for all your hard work. And I fucking go get it out, and it's expired March 2023. I'm like, this is fucking past due beer. This is old beer. It's not even a fresh beer. It's yeah, sure, you put 36 beers or whatever in the fridge. I'll take 1 6-pack of Fat Tire. Just one as a thank you. You can get me 1 bottle of anything on these or not on these shelves as a thank you. But old beer is just kind of I didn't want to throw this away.
God.
Hey, Tim, I want to thank you for coming to my house. I'd like to give you this partially consumed bottle of Paul John
fuck you.
Indian whiskey.
I hope it breaks open in your luggage.
That would be an excellent prank. You just pop the cork and then put it in their bag. Oh, God.
Immediately, you step into the airport and they fucking stick the canines on you immediately.
Yeah, and it's just it's I think I talked about not saying thank you, and I've talked about that in the past. It's just it would have taken an extra 2 seconds to go. And the staff of this theater, who really, went above and beyond. Just a real simple thing to say. We are taking a break. I still have a bunch of work to do. Yeah, we're gonna go take a break.
We're gonna go take a break. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll sit here and program until you get back. Just I don't know. Just have some fucking self-awareness, I guess, is what I want people to give me. That or $100. I will also work for $100. Anyway. Well, that's my issue, and that's it for this week's episode of Here's What I'll Get. So, until next time, from the most dangerous city in America, not kidding, I'm Tab Burt.
I'm Tim the Handle Breaker.
Catch you guys next week.
Screw yourself.
If you want to call into the Heroes I Got hotline, call us at 704-750-9434 and tell us what you don't get. Or you can visit us in the Discord and leave us a voicemail there. I don't think we have any in the Discord this week. We do not, but we do have some in the voicemail hotline. We got one from transcription not available.
Nice. Always a welcome caller.
Hey, here's what I don't get. Unneeded pockets on clothes. Like, everything from the cargo shorts that have like 17 pockets that are barely big enough to fit a dime into, to shopping for underwear today, and they have pairs of boxers that have, the typical Cool Zone fly or whatever, but those also have a tech pocket on the ass cheek on one side. And it's like, why the fuck would I put my phone in a pocket on my underwear on my ass? Like, it already gets sweaty enough in my front right pocket. Why would I also want to get ass sweat on it on top of that? To do it, I guess.
What the fuck?
That sounds
like, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like boxers for women. Because women will take your man's boxers and wear them around the house as if they're outer pants.
Yes, you're right.
And so I'm sure that some woman was like, I like to wear my boyfriend's boxers around the house, but then I have nowhere to put my phone. And they're like, well, what if we put a pocket on his underpants? And she's like, that
Genius.
sounds perfect. and now this guy's walking around. He's like, what the fuck is in my pocket? And he's like, what the fuck is back there?
Well-
oh, nothing. It's my underpants.
So here's why the pocket complicates it, because I think we've all had like a pocket like go
weird.
on us,
Yeah.
right? Like it folds into itself or twists around. You don't want that happening on your ass.
No, of course not. Like,
It can already happen like on a pair of jeans.
I also feel like it's dangerously separating your wallet from your ass. Like if I were designing men's pants, the right rear pocket, that panel of the pants would be like wafer thin material, so that you can constantly feel your wallet
Yes.
in your ass.
Yeah.
Now you've got another pocket in there. What the fuck is going on? 5 pockets is really all you need. That's it.
Yeah.
I have, my watch pocket. I'll put my my John Wick coin goes in there. My
Put change in there.
change in there sometimes. Like if I
I'll
get
put hair ties in there.
a single key, like the Airbnb I was staying at in Portland, they had a single key. Slip that in there, and then my normal loadout on the other pockets. But fuck, a pocket in my underpants. Come on, just getting ridiculous. Like I'm gonna walk around. Like I said, I think I solved that, but it is ridiculous. One more.
Hi. I haven't quite been sick of life for quite a while. It turns out that apparently
I think this is our.
I was kidnapped, and then I was transported to this hot hellish place called Florida. It's hot, it's steamy, and I'm sweaty. I haven't eaten in 3 days. I need food. I need water. I need everything!
Well,
Yeah, Florida sucks.
Florida's the worst. Tim just left there.
Yeah.
He was like, fuck this place.
I did though, so say what you will about Florida though. I the best thing I got in Florida was revenge.
I was going to say herpes.
No. It was revenge for my golf mentor. I got the one-eyed alligator that ate his hand. And, things turned out all right.
Yeah. I could see how that would work out for you. Boy. Well, that's it for this week's episode. This is like my first episode with a person in person in almost a year. Like we did 299 in person, I think. We had all the callers. And that was in July of last year.
That would have been in July.
End of July or early August. Yeah. Was that was yeah, was that 4th of July weekend? No, that wouldn't have been 4th of July weekend. It would have been in August sometime.
Didn't you go see Tony a few weeks ago? And you guys
yeah,
didn't
we
record
didn't
an
do
episode?
it. No, we did want to hit an episode of his fucking show. That I think comes
Is that out
this
yet?
week or next week. No, it hasn't come out yet.
Of course not. He's one of those.
He's one of those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been fucking lollygagging around, shaving his head. Goes to Florida. Speaking of fucking shit in Florida, goes to fucking Florida. Taking pictures at Disneyland and shit with his mouth open, pointing at things.
Yeah.
Motherfucker can't edit and release a fucking hour-long review of Tomorrow Never Dies. A movie review that I had not watched the movie in I don't know when, and fucking nailed it. Fucking nailed it. Because I am the James Bond expert. Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for watching live with our blown out faces in my bar. Look at all that.
It's very beautiful.
That's just the whiskey.
Yeah.
There's more bar over here.
Lots more over there.
Yeah, and behind you.
Yeah.
That's all the Oklahoma whiskey. So, come to the party on Wednesday. I'm not going to give you my address. Bye.